Explicit D here for nextgenwalkthroughs.com. This is the Fable 2 basic guide. I'm just going to go over some of the very basic stuff about Fable 2, what it's about, how to play it, and get you ready for your Fable 2 adventure. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Fable 2, it's an action RPG adventure where you get to go through as a guy or a girl and make your decisions based on if you want to be good or evil. Keeping that in mind, Fable 2 is a game that has auto-saving, so you're going to have to live with your choices, whether they be good or evil. And just so you know, it doesn't make a difference if you're a guy or a girl. You're going to get the same story. Another unique thing about Fable 2 is that you can't die. When you get beat down by your enemies, you get knocked out and you lose experience and you'll get some scars, but you just get revived and you don't have to have lives and there's no game over, which is a pretty cool thing. Now, moving along into some of the gameplay, the combat system's pretty easy. It's a 3-button system where you have melee attacks, ranged attacks with guns and crossbows and stuff like that, and then magic attacks, and there's different levels of those depending on how powerful you are. These categories are what you're going to be putting your experience into, so you can decide if you want to tear it up as a melee guy with your weapon, or if you just want to blow people away with magic and stop time and do crazy shit like that. One kind of crazy thing about using your experience, though, is it actually ages your character. Just like lots of things affect your character. Eating fatted food will make you a fatty, and eating tofu will make you a skinny. Now, once you start exploring the world, you're going to realize there's a lot more to this game than just quests. And there's lots of characters you can interact with. You can make different expressions at each character, and depending on the person, they'll either think it's, funny if you fart in their face, or, take it as something that's rude. So it's really fun to just kind of play around and make an ass out of yourself. Now, there's also an attraction level you have with other characters, and this will help you score chicks or dudes, whatever you're into. And you can increase your attraction by getting a haircut or some new threads, same way in real life. And then this will eventually lead to you getting married, possibly, scoring and having some kids, maybe owning a house. So in Fable 2 you can buy all sorts of property, both business and residential. They'll both make you money, unless you decide to live in the house, then you won't make money. But if you rent it out, you're going to make some money. I found that the businesses tend to rake in more cash. Also, how you decide to price your rent and stuff like that will affect if you're good or evil. If you're screwing people in the town by jacking up the rates, you're going to be evil, and if you give them awesome rates, you're going to be good. But before you can even buy property, you're going to have to make some money. Fortunately, that's pretty easy in Fable 2. You can get a manual labor job chopping wood or serving beer or smacking the pieces of metal as a blacksmith. And then after a hard day's work, you always have the option of going to the game guy and blowing all your money on gambling. Once you're done playing around in the world, there's the main quest, which is the main part of the game. These are pretty easy because there's a breadcrumb trail system which guides you to your next point that you're supposed to go. A good thing to keep in mind during the main quest is that you can use quick travel to cut down the time that it takes to get place to place, but going around manually can lead to some fights and you can gain experience, just like Final Fantasy or something like that. There are some points in the main quest where you have to do side quests, and the reason is you have to get renown points. So after completing a side quest, you'll get some renown points. You can also get renown points by starting a family and owning property and getting a wife. Having higher renown will make people act different towards you, and you can also get better prices on houses and stuff if people like you. Throughout Fable 2, there's also a few other things you can be doing and collecting. First is treasure chests. Some treasure chests you can just open, and some require silver keys. There's silver keys scattered throughout the game, and you have to have a certain amount before you can open certain treasure chests. You'll also find out there's these gargoyles, and when you're walking around, sometimes you'll hear someone with an accent just start yelling at you and making fun of you. That means a gargoyle is nearby, and if you destroy all 50 of them, that's one of the quests in the game. There's also these crazy dudes called demon doors. They're the doors with the big face on it that talk to you. Each door has a different way of opening it, and they are pretty different from each other. I'll do a guide separate for each door, but this door right here you can open by kicking a chicken into it. Each door kind of gives you a hint, and this one hint is that it's hungry for meat, so you'll have to use your brain to figure them out, or use nextgenwalkthroughs.com. And that's it for my basic guide. Stay tuned for a full detailed guide of Fable 2 from your favorite Explicit D.